the lasso. Was that your work finding that, Dave Mayer?
Yeah.
I got your message about voyeuring last night.
It was such a treat.
There we were. All right. So, a poem. Patty Bruce at Hollyhock in 2003. So Hollyhock is on the ocean. It's on Desolation Sound. And Desolation Sound isn't called Desolation Sound because it is desolate. It's one of the richest bodies of water in the world for nutrients. It's called Desolation Sound because Captain Vancouver was trying to get up the passage there, and there was no way he could get through those currents.
It's called
Someone is unmuted. Let me check here. It's Dave. Gotcha. There we go. All right, you'll be punished for that. They couldn't, even with their best rowers, they couldn't get through all those currents. And so he was desolate. Hence they named it Desolation Sound. Anyway, there's big tides and sometimes big waves and lots of rocks and seagulls and storms. So here's the poem. Broken Rock. You stood guardian beside these waters for centuries. No one knows how long. One day you were rent in two. Was it the relentless waves that broke you? Or was it the loon feather fallen on your fracture that finally opened you to more sky than you ever imagined possible? You stood guardian beside these waters for centuries. No one knows how long. One day you were rent in two. Was it the relentless waves that broke you? Or was it the loon feather fallen on your fracture that finally opened you to more sky than you ever imagined possible? Patty Bruce. We are here now. In a living body, as a living body. The universe taking birth as a conscious entity of a sort, a conscious process. We are an integral part of the living earth. We belong here. We could remind ourselves of some very traditional reflections. The Buddha recommended that we do these every day, perhaps several times a day. I am of the nature to age. I've not gone beyond aging. I am of the nature to age. I've not gone beyond aging. Is this true? I am of the nature to sicken. Is this true? I've not gone beyond sickness. I am of the nature to sicken, to grow ill. Is this true? I am of the nature to die. I've not gone beyond dying. Is this true? Is it really true? I am of the nature to die. All that is mine, beloved and pleasing, will become otherwise, will become separated from me. Is this true? Could this really be true? I am the owner of my karma, my intentional actions, heir to my karma, born of my karma, abide supported by my karma. Whatever karma I shall create, do, of this will I be the heir. Is this true? Thus should we frequently recollect, said the Buddha. Or in a very abbreviated form, my death is certain. The time of my death is uncertain. The way of my death is uncertain. The place of my death is uncertain. How then shall I live my life? My death is certain. The way of my death is uncertain. The time of my death is uncertain. The place of my death is uncertain. How then shall I live my life? Today. And so, dear Dharma friends, we come to the place of our awakening. We come to the Bodhi tree. It's not just another day. It's this moment. And this is the moment of our awakening. There is a mass of aliveness, which we call the body. And this body exists right here and now. And the body breathes. As long as it's alive, it breathes. Each breath has a beginning. How intimate, how close, how alive can awareness be with the actual sensations of life as this body breathes? There is a knowing, an awakeness. And each breath can be known. There is its beginning. The chest and abdomen expanding. And then a change of direction. And then a decline. All the way to vanishing. Sometimes it can be helpful to take a glance, in a way, metaphorically, at the face and notice if there's tension between the eyes, if the lips are pressed against each other, if there's tightness in the throat, if there's tightness in the jaw or in the solar plexus. And any tightness which is noticed and which can be released, why not let it go? Let your face become soft. It doesn't solve any problem to hold muscles tight. Some of them may not be releasable so easily. But when that's the case, simply notice the tension. It doesn't have to go away. It's just tension. And we soften our way into being present with whatever's happening, the coming and going of the breath, the presence of the 5 hindrances, The profound silence sometimes. The breath and the thoughts, the moods, all sing the same song of anicca, impermanence. Sometimes the mind wanders for a tenth of a second. We can feel it beginning to wander. Awareness notices it and it stops. It's over. Other times the wandering mind has some momentum to it. One thought leads to another, in what the Buddha called papancha, mental proliferation. And then, once again, mindfulness springs into being somehow. And there is an awakening to, or a seeing through, that trance state of wandering. Sometimes there's extra personality processes in which there's self-criticism. Why is my mind wandering so much this morning? Self-doubt. The knowing, the awareness of that is the intervention. Nothing more needs to be done. The seeing is the doing, Krishnamurti said. And so we sit and breathe and awaken in this moment now. sounds may arise, including this voice. They come out of nowhere. They're just suddenly here. And then they're gone. And there's the breath coming and going. Who is it that feels this breath? Is there really a someone sitting up behind your eyes? Or are there just sensations and awareness? Nature unfolding. We translate the word sati as mindfulness. There's something missing in this, which is the heart. A better term would be heart-mind fullness. And we can remind ourselves of this with the simple saying, I aspire to love and accept myself exactly as I appear in this moment. There can be a softening in this, a resting in the present. I aspire to love and accept this that I take to be myself in this moment. And whenever I'm hurting, even the subtle dukkha of existence, I aspire to hold myself in sweet compassion. And they really are synonyms, those two statements, really. Means I intend to be here and accept the experience of the moment. And in developing this awakening to this capacity within myself, so shall I intend to open to all beings. Beings of all species, all shapes and sizes, all political orientations, all positions in the hierarchy. I practice to recognize my true nature. And may all beings everywhere share in the merits of our practice. Please let our transition to being outwardly focused again be gentle, conscious. Let it involve a breath or two and awareness of the eyes. No hurry. Seeing ourselves in our many forms. You stood guardian beside these waters for centuries. No one knows how long. One day you were rent in two. Was it the relentless waves that broke you? Or was it the loon feather fallen on your fracture that finally opened you to more sky than you ever imagined possible? Please be reminded, take action. On the 2nd of April, Candle Summers is offering her beautiful self from 9 till 2 to do some meditation together. On the 3rd, the official grand opening of PIMC, 10 o'clock in the morning. If you want to go deeper still, Hollyhock, May the 29th through June 3. There's still space in that retreat, but it will fill up for sure. Sunday nights, 6:30, the Be Queer Now gathering happens, gaining momentum. This coming Saturday, there's a Karma Yoga party at PIMC. Kind of an early opening opportunity. I wonder if I can get this easily. Oops, that's a nice picture. Not the one I wanted. This will be hard to make out, but I'm going to share it anyway. Paul Levine and I were at the center last night getting set up for getting the electronics working. And this is the main door, and this you can't see him very well. This is Barong. He's a Balinese sculpture that hung over Ruth Dennison's front door in Hollywood for many years. He's probably a couple hundred years old anyway, and he's got a whole story to him. But he's typically at the entrance to the temple. And we hung him last night, and it was really fun for me. It was one of the kind of like a landmark issue for me, getting that up. So, if you want to participate on Saturday, go to the portlandinsight.org website and sign up in the volunteer list. And I think that's what I want to say this morning. It can get to be too much. Announcing. So, do you have something you'd like to share? If so, this is the moment. Hopefully I will hear you. Jim, wave your hands frantically if I'm not hearing somebody. Vigorously, not frantically. I can hear you.
I can do frantic.
Me too.
Good morning.
Hello,
Robert.
Janice. Hi.
Hello, how are you?
I'm pretty good this morning.
Good.
I could complain, but I'm not going to.
How's your hand?
Oh, it's good. Day 2.
Day 2.
Uh-huh.
No pain?
Almost negligible. Yeah.
Good.
Yeah, I haven't taken any ibuprofen since yesterday morning. Yeah. Thank you for asking.
I'm just wanting to say good morning to everyone today. I just felt like I wanted to express my gratitude for everyone. Looks like Dave is having a hard time hearing me. Am I very quiet?
Seems okay to me.
Is that okay? Yeah, I just felt again so much connection with everyone. We share such intimacies in our sangha, and times I feel like I want to just say hello. How is this going? How is your day going? You know, all of these are ongoing daily challenges and good things. So I'm just grateful for everyone being here, and that we have a commitment to this morning meditation. So I hope you all have a good day.
Thanks, Janice.
Thank you.
My apologies, Janice. I have a plumber here who's cutting out a plumbing stack and the house is vibrating and all kinds of noise. It wasn't you.
Good.
I'd love to share a story that I heard yesterday, and I'm not sure how it relates to mindfulness, but maybe some input would be helpful. Probably many of you know the This American Life storytelling. So there's this long distance swimmer in the Catalina Channel. She's going to swim for 21 miles. She gets out there. She was an experienced swimmer. She gets out there and she realizes there is a young humpback whale following her, like really, really, really close. And she doesn't panic and says, wow, this is odd. And she didn't have a support boat with her, but apparently somebody was there her coach was there on a paddleboard of all things. And the calf keeps following her and following her really, really close. And she's in the water too long and realizes she's going to get hypothermia, turns around and goes back towards the beach. She's going to get out of the water. She's going to bail on her attempt to swim. And the calf keeps following her. So she sort of panics and realizes she can't get to the shore. The calf is going to get beached if she goes all the way to the shore, will not leave her side. So she turns around and she swims back out, saying, take it out to sea, take it out to sea. At this point, hours have gone by, and now the Coast Guard is on it, and they see the adult whale, perhaps the mother, about a mile away. I'm not sure how the communication was happening. So she decides she's going to swim towards the adult whale to try to get the calf away, risking her own well-being. And she said, I couldn't do anything else. I had to help. The adult gets close enough, recognizes the calf, gets close enough and starts swimming towards them, intercepts her and the calf. And now this young woman is swimming arm's distance away from an adult humpback. She reaches out, touches the whale, says she knows they're communicating at this point, and then finally the calf leaves her other side and gets with the adult, and they take off. At which point she had to be rescued. She was in the water 5 hours with this animal. I'm just blown away at the interdependence of the species. It was so real. So it's a beautiful, beautiful story. It can be found online. I think it's about connectivity for me. Not to overlook any opportunity for that connectivity.
Thank you, Francine.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
Rob put the link in the chat for anyone who would like to pick that up.
Oh, you've heard it then.
No, Rob put it just now. Rob Curran put the link in the chat.
Oh, thank you, Rob.
It's a beautiful piece.
In fact, it just sort of cemented for me a oneness.
Thanks, Francine.
Good morning, Songa. It's Jessica.
Hello, Jessica.
Hi. Thanks so much, Francine. It just reminded me in somewhat of a more mundane but still magical moment I had watching on a birding trip where we were out early in the morning and it was near freezing. And one of our group noticed I think it was just some type of small chickadee on the ground, not injured, no apparent physical injury, just kind of still. And he carefully scooped it up and he said, I think it's just too cold. And he took the bird and he tucked it into a pocket very gently. And then he just had one hand there and we continued to walk, just look for birds. And all of a sudden he's like, oh, and the little bird came out, kind of looked around, kind of came up, got squared away, and then just took off. And it was so cool because it was just that moment of recognizing that kindness that he had, that patience, the lack of fear and the trust. And like you say, that connection. And it was just, I felt like one of the best gifts ever on a birding trip. And so it just now made me think of it. I haven't thought of that in ages because it was like maybe 10 years ago that this happened. So thank you. It's just amazing sometimes.
Yeah. Watch out for that giant dog, Paula. It looks like it's about 10 times as big as you.
He is pretty huge, I know. He's just wants to really be involved and say hello.
He was close to the camera. He looked like a dinosaur. So, is there anything else? Jamie says in the chat, in the BQN group, our next discussion topic this Sunday is animals and what they bring to our lives and our practice. Yeah. I could share something too that occurred on Saturday morning. I'd been feeling a little down for a few days. It's a little depressed. Enough to call it depression, which is not so common for me anymore. And I went to the Japanese garden with a friend of mine. Some of you know Doug Spiro. He's the landscape architect that designed the front gardens at PIMC and helped us build them. Anyway, old friend, Dharma buddy. And it's wonderful to go to anywhere with him because as a landscape architect, he sees things and points things out. And to be at the Japanese garden together was really engaging. And I said, I've been a little depressed lately, and having to work with that. And he turned to me and said, so what's the depression about? And I heard myself say, well, my dog died. And I feel sad again now. It's not top of mind, but he's buried right over there. I can see his tree. And it's not even particularly his death. It's that it's got me in touch with all of the losses and how fragile everything is, that's where that reflection came from this morning. I am of the nature to age. It's all really true, the very profound teachings at the bottom of all this. And of course, recognizing the temporal nature of everything makes any contact like this, like a woman swimming with a giant creature. How precious. How extraordinary. So, anybody have anything else? I have a 9 o'clock appointment at some distance from home. So, I want to go soon. Anybody else?
Can I just share a small thing?
Hi, Aaron.
Hi, I'll make it very small and just somehow it just seems important to share that I'm experiencing a lot of anxiety lately. And I'm not asking for help or anything, sometimes it's just so good to just have it be witnessed. So that's really, I think, all right now for the moment. Thank you.
Thanks, Aaron. Well, let us sing our way home, friends. May all beings receive all blessings. Bhavatu Sabe Mangalam. Bhavatu Sabe Mangalam. Bhavatu Sabe Mangalam. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.
Sadhu, sadhu.
Goodbye, friends. Please have a wonderful, loving, mindful day.
The Portland Cacophony Choir.
Be well.
Thank you,
Goodbye.
Robert.
Goodbye, Paula's kitty.
Bye, Paula's kitty. Thank you, Sangha. Be well, everyone.
There it is.
There it is. Be well, be well, be well.
Oh, a few.
Yes, David. Have a good